Today, Vachin, UV, Jacob, and I are going to determine which car power source is the best between gas, hybrid, and electric. This is the 2009 Toyota Camry Hybrid. It is a 2.4-liter four-cylinder front-wheel drive sedan that can get up to 619 miles of range with a full tank of gas.
This is the Cayenne. It is all-wheel drive and has a gas tank capacity of 19.8 gallons. This vehicle also has regenerative braking, which charges the battery when the brakes are applied, and with a full tank, this car can travel up to 430 miles.
This is the 2022 Hyundai Kona Electric. It is a front-wheel drive electric crossover. It can get 258 miles of range on a full charge and can even be charged from a household outlet.
The 2003 SLK 320 is a very fun car. It's one of the few hardtop convertibles in existence. It seats only 2 people. It has a V6 engine, meaning that this car has a very powerful engine for its size. The car gets roughly 18 miles per gallon in the city and 24 miles per gallon on the highway.
The Toyota Camry Hybrid is a gas-fueled vehicle that contains a high expansion ratio Atkinson cycle engine. This allows the gasoline engine to recharge the electric motor's battery whenever it's running. It averages 36 miles per gallon with a 17.2 gallon tank. It also has an 8-second 0 to 60 with 187 horsepower. Regenerative braking converts braking friction into electricity the car is able to use. The Camry Hybrid offers an efficient alternative to any car powered solely by gas.
The Porsche Cayenne Turbo SC Hybrid has 670 horsepower and boasts a 0 to 60 time of just 3.2 seconds. Being a plug-in hybrid, it can also get you on the highway up to 83 miles per hour purely on electric power. This vehicle gets a combined 42 miles per gallon electric combined when driven sensibly. This car's powertrain consists of a 4-liter twin-turbo V8 which produces 540 horsepower supplemented with a 134 horsepower electric motor. This plug-in hybrid offers the best of both worlds. Depending on how you drive it, it offers the best in terms of performance, luxury, and economy.
The Hyundai Kona Electric can be charged in about an hour at a fast charger. It has regenerative braking which helps extend its driving range. It also gets 120 miles per gallon combined and is overall a good alternative to a gas-powered car. Its electric motor produces 201 horsepower with a 0 to 60 of 6.4 seconds, which is faster than the gas-powered Kona. The Kona hardly produces any noise under acceleration, however it does produce artificial noise at low speeds for pedestrian safety. The 2003 SLK 320 has 215 horsepower and is capable of holding 15.9 gallons of fuel. It's one of the very few hardtop convertibles. However, because of this, trunk space is limited and has an even larger constraint when the top is down. Seating only 2 people, the SLK can achieve top speeds of 130 miles per hour. The SLK gets 18 miles per gallon in the city and 24 miles per gallon on the highway. The 0 to 60 for the SLK is roughly 6 seconds. This makes it a great option for car buyers. However, since it is a gas car, it does contribute to carbon emissions.
Mr. Benson, the first question is, which one would you choose based on your preferences? Which car?
So personally, I choose no car, which is why I ride an electric bike. It's just less of an impact overall, and also because I'm cheap. But I would choose an electric car, just based on the dramatic shifts in functionality that we've seen over the last decade. You have comparable ranges in comparable prices of cars. Car prices are going up, electric vehicle prices are going up as well, but they're becoming pretty dang close to sort of a mid-range vehicle that you'd see on the road. So I choose an electric vehicle.
Okay. And which car, electric, gas, hybrid, or plug-in hybrid, would you prefer in terms of the environment or the overall environment?
In terms of impact to the environment, the one that's going to have the least emissions is the one that's going to combust the least fuel, so electric vehicle is going to have the least impact overall. That being said, the other options there, plug-in hybrid especially, are a great alternative because they get you a lot of the functionality you see of an internal combustion engine without some of the drawbacks that you get with an electric car, being limited on range and slow refueling times.
Okay. And do you think Nissan's law or Nissan's proposal will have positive impact on the environment?
Yes, any sort of significant shift from internal combustion engines towards electric vehicles is going to have a positive impact, reducing emissions, reducing impacts on the climate, but also reducing impacts to localized air pollution, nitrogen oxides, sulfur oxides, as well as carbon monoxide and particulates especially are going to have an impact on health in the local environment.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So, first question, Mr. Olson. Which car would you choose based on your preferences? Electric, gas, or plug-in hybrid, or hybrid?
Personally, I prefer gas right now, just because it's the most convenient and I'm used to it. We don't have solar on the house, so it wouldn't make any sense to have an e-car yet. And I haven't found a flex fuel hybrid car that I actually like. So I'm driving a gas guzzling truck.
Okay, cool. Okay. And in terms of the environment, which car would you prefer?
Well, environmentally, we know the consequence of fossil fuels. So we know what diesel and gasoline and flex fuel and ethanol do. What we don't know is the impact on these e-cars. So whether it's lithium or cadmium or nickel or palladium, that all has to be mined. And we don't know the long-term effect on the environment. We also have to acknowledge that if you don't have solar panels to cover the entire charge of your vehicle, you're still burning coal or natural gas to generate electricity to charge your car. So I foresee a future where all houses are built with solar panels, and all houses will come with an e-plug-in, and then you can buy the car and you are from beginning to end generating a car with 0 carbon emissions. I can see that happening in the future, When it happens and how expensive it's going to be, I couldn't tell. It's going to take another 50 years at least.
Okay. And do you think Newsom's proposal, all electric by 2030, do you think that'll have like a significant impact on the environment?
I don't, because I don't think it's even remotely possible. There are 40 million people in the state. We are heavily dependent upon fossil fuels. I can't even imagine the cost of transitioning away from gas. I can't imagine the impact it would have on the economy. Millions of people would be out of work because of that. I also find it a little embarrassing that he makes that claim, knowing full well that he'll be out of office before they even have to meet it. So with most politicians, I think he's blowing hot air. I believe in the free market. Let people buy what they want to buy, and whoever makes the better product, that will always win.
Okay. And, sorry.
You ruined everything.
Sorry.
One last question. Taking lithium ion mining into consideration, would you still say that carbon emissions has a, would you still prefer, which car would you prefer?
If all versions of environmental damage were considered equal, I think e-vehicles are going to be the way of the future. However, I don't imagine we'll ever have an e-airplane. I don't imagine we'll ever have an e-cargo ship or yacht or train. And you still have to figure out a way to mine enough lithium for 8 billion people. I don't see how it's possible without doing more damage to the environment and habitat than what fossil fuels already do.
Okay. So would you say lithium ion mining is more harmful than the carbon emissions produced by an internal combustion engine?
Well, you just have to pick your poison.
Okay.
Whether we're looking at deforestation, the cost of mining, the cost of distribution, the cost of refining, and then we haven't even begun looking at recycling lithium batteries yet. And from what I've read, most e-cars require about every 10 or 15 years, you have to recycle the batteries. So we haven't even crossed that bridge yet.
Okay, cool.
Gas, electric, and hybrid cars, which ones do you personally prefer?
I have been enamored with electric cars for the longest time because I think what I thought I knew in the past, they were a more environmental friendly option than pulling petroleum out of the ground and turning it into a refined product like gasoline. And what I have since found out is that necessarily isn't the case. So in the past, I've really thought electric cars would be the way to go.
And you don't think that now?
I do not think that now. In wanting to get an electric car, I really wanted a Tesla. I did my research and I found out that most of the components that go into making the batteries of an electric car are sourced from third world countries employing just shy of a version of slave labor, very low paying wages. And then when the batteries are done, there's no way to recycle them. So unlike the gasoline, I guess it's kind of the same, like the pollution goes in the air, but I think I have a harder problem with how we acquire the products to make an electric car as opposed to how we acquire the oil from the ground to turn it into petroleum and then gasoline. So I don't know that I want an electric car anymore.
That's good.
So what kind of car is the ideal today? It all depends on what you're after. Electric cars are the most cost-effective to maintain and operate, but they come with drawbacks such as lengthier brakes on long road trips, and the inconvenient task of finding charging. Gas cars are still a safe alternative, but they can be expensive to maintain and operate on a daily basis, especially with today's gas rates. We get the best of both worlds with hybrid and plug-in hybrid vehicles. They are less expensive than gasoline cars and do not have the drawbacks that electric cars do. In terms of pollution, we know now that, despite the absence of tailpipe emissions, electric cars are more harmful to produce due to the negative effects of lithium mining. Hybrid and plug-in hybrid cars lessen both of the environmental problems that come with gas and electric cars. Plug-in hybrid cars in particular can even be used in gas-only or EV-only modes. They even come with many of the government rebates that electric cars have. The versatility of hybrid cars has caused us to determine that they are the ideal car to buy today.